Hi there, Fox 35 Storm Team Meteorologist T.J. Springer here in the Storm Center for Fox 35 Weather Plus. Hopefully your Tuesday is going well so far. Hopefully you bundled up as you went out the door this morning. It was a brutal feeling morning, and we still have the wind out there, and it's adding to that, adding the insult to injury, so to speak, keeping things feeling chilly all across Central Florida. But at least we have the sunshine, right? It does look nice. It does feel good. I should say, it just doesn't feel good out there, but at least it looks pleasant. We're live on Fox Local. We're live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. So if you do want to ask a question, any weather question or anything else on your mind, join the conversation. You can keep us up on Fox Local, but if you want to grab your phone or tablet, computer, whatever your smart device may be, to pull us up on Facebook or YouTube, that would be great. And while I am thinking about it, I want to make sure I share it as well. Temperatures this morning were around 20 degrees below what they should be for this time of the year, and we're expecting this chill to be with us through essentially much of the work week. We get a little rebound ahead of the next big system that we're tracking, the next cold front, the one that's really going to bring us the wintry chill. Hey Dan, how are you? Yeah, cold in Orlando. I am with you, man, 1,000%. And well, let me get up YouTube here while I'm thinking about it as well. Don't want to miss any of those comments. If anybody is watching on YouTube. Okay. Let's see. Alrighty, well, let's pull up here some of the sunshine-filled conditions, but you can really see the breeze. This is our camera over at Port Canaveral, and you can see the palm fronds blowing, just making things feel all the more worse out there. Coming in from the northwest and going to keep the temperatures feeling tonight most likely like the 20s and 30s once again.
The coldest on record.
From Orlando, not just.
Side by side. Got it.
Oh, okay, Dan. You said you're from Orlando. That's awesome. I love that. Are you still in Orlando right now? You'll have to let us know. All right, here is the big picture. Still snow squalls, snow showers, lake effect snow up across the Northeast, around the Great Lakes, with that incoming clipper there. But much of the country is cold and dry. So after all of the unsettled weather that we saw over the weekend, I'd say this is a welcomed scene, that's for sure. But eyes are already going to be on this weekend for this developing system that we're going to continue to watch closely, because it looks like, once again, north of us and up the East Coast, there is that potential for accumulating snow. So that could mean more travel delays if anyone's coming into Orlando, out of Orlando, the domino effect, so to speak. That's something we'll continue to watch as well. But for us, it's going to be historic cold, and that's the way things are shaping up here in Central Florida. Right now, compared to this time on our Monday, Titusville, Sanford, New Smyrna Beach, Daytona Beach, between 20 and 30 degrees colder. Let that sink in. That is chilly. Yesterday at this time, the front was getting through. Cold air was starting to work in across places like Gainesville. But now we're all feeling it, and the temperatures are only in the 40s for some of us, including New Smyrna. 46 there, 48 in Daytona, but we do have 53 in Orlando and 54 in Winter Haven. Dan, Hannah is, today is Tuesday, so Hannah is actually off Mondays and Tuesdays. This is her quote-unquote weekend. But she'll be back tomorrow, and of course her and I will be back on Saturday and Sunday for Good Day Orlando. And after the wrap, of course. Wind chills right now, a little bit cooler in New Smyrna, Daytona Beach, low to mid 40s. It's just raw, especially when you're close to the coast. A little more moisture in the air near the beaches, and just does not make it feel the best. Gives that raw feeling to the air, that is for sure. Well, let's talk about tonight because we have another Fox 35 Storm Team alert, just like what we had this morning, heading into our Wednesday. Temperatures actually looking just a touch colder around the Orlando metro compared to what we had this morning. So, sadly, if you didn't cover up your plants, they might be goners, but depending on where you are, if you were around Orlando, temperatures likely were just above freezing. So maybe some of your plants, if you happen to forget or happen to have forgotten yesterday, may be okay. So cover those, bring those in if you can. Wind chills, though, still going to be down around freezing, if not colder than that. Likely around the mid-20s for some of our northern and western locales. Freeze warnings have been issued once again, and that's why we're continuing that storm team alert. 32 in Orlando, around 34 in New Smyrna, but notice Gainesville, Ocala, the Villages, Leesburg, upper 20s and lower 30s. So another hard freeze. It's going to be feeling bitter, just as brutal as what we had out the door this morning. But the wind not going to be as strong, so wind chills a little bit less of an impact. But still, even the slightest wind when it's that cold can make it feel that much worse. So we have cold weather advisories for Brevard County, inland Brevard County, west of the intracoastal, the Indian River, and then we're all under freeze warnings from there for temperatures that are likely going to be 32 degrees or chillier. But we rebound a little more tomorrow. We're back up in the mid to upper 50s and in Gainesville and Ocala and the Villages, and then we're back up into the low 60s for the most part around Orlando, the beaches from Titusville southbound to Melbourne. So looking a little better there. But I feel like I can say this because we haven't seen anything yet, so to speak, when we're looking at the cold this weekend. And we are going to moderate up ahead of it, or out ahead of it. But the cold this weekend, let's just say it's going to be much colder than what we had last night and what we'll have tonight. But we have storm team alerts heading into our Thursday morning because we are going to have temperatures northwest of Orlando still likely around freezing, if not a little colder than that Thursday morning. Our average low is 50 in Orlando. So we're going to be well below that. Hey, Phyllis, thank you. Where are you watching from? I'll say that right back at you. Alice, how's it going? Yes, cold in Winter Haven for sure. I can imagine. But there's the storm team alert for Sunday, and we're keeping it going into our Monday as well. That's almost 25 degrees below where we should be for this time of the year. So there's our storm team alert for a widespread hard freeze, impacts to agriculture, to citrus, the potential for impacts to pipes, irrigation systems, pools, things that we often talk about when it gets this cold. But because it's going to be the coldest air we've had in a while, there could be some more issues. So just thinking about that as we get closer to this upcoming weekend. Likely breaking records on both fronts. All right, we're just about at 3:40, so we'll be taking a quick break here on Fox Local. But if you want to keep the fun going, grab your phone and hop on Facebook or YouTube. Phyllis, I love that. Oh my gosh, 12 in Missouri. No, thank you. It'll probably feel like that, Phyllis, here in Central Florida, North Central Florida, especially as we progress through our Sunday morning. So here are the records for Sunday. Remember, we go back to 1892. Coldest high, 48. That was set back in 1936. Our coldest low of 28 was also set back in 1936, as well as 1909. So we're likely going to smash both of these as we head through this upcoming weekend. So the cold front's going to move through as we head through the day on Saturday. Could bring us some showers, but the bigger story is certainly going to be the chilly air that invades Florida behind it. Now, because the record's 48, we're expecting temperatures to be just a touch colder than that. But if you look at days since records began in the Orlando area, 48 degrees we have only had 80 days with highs at 48 degrees or colder. So let that settle in. When you think of a century plus, that is not a lot of time with highs this cold. And we're looking at likelihood as we head through our Sunday. Phyllis, you lived there for 12 years. Where did you live in Orlando? That's cool. Yeah, no, I mean, it's been a while. We haven't had cold like this for over 15 years. So, Dan, the reason why we're getting this cold, it has to do with these big dips in the jet stream. And when we get these strong systems, we can pull that colder air right out of Canada and essentially right out of the Arctic. And we all, you've probably heard that term polar vortex as well. When you have a strong signal, a strong polar vortex, I should say, that cold air can stay locked up across the Arctic. But when you have a weaker polar vortex, you can see waves or lobes of that cold, so to speak, break off and can invade the United States. And that's what we've seen multiple times this winter season, and we're going to see it in its worst form, likely this or coldest form, as we progress into our Sunday and early next week. So that's a little explanation on that. Welcome back, Fox Local friends. I was just talking about the days where we've had highs at 48 degrees or colder, and we've only ever had 80 days, which is just under 3 months when you add it all up. Not a lot of time. Now, our coldest temp ever in the history of, or not, I should say the history of Orlando, but the days where the time where we've had weather data in recorded history has been 18 degrees, and that was set back on December 12th, 1894. So, long time ago. But Noah and I were talking about this yesterday. You have to wonder at that time the accuracy of everything in that regard.
Probably not great.
Yeah, not quite as accurate as we'd like to think we are now, and we are now. So sometimes. We like to hope all the time. That's our goal. Thank you, Phyllis. I appreciate it. I love that you have family there. And I hope they're doing well. And yes, I agree 1,000%. Okay, so let's talk a little more about the system that's going to help bring the potential for accumulating snow across the southeast, mid-Atlantic, potentially northeast as well. But the system that's going to help bring in the chill this weekend. Alice says hi, Noah.
Hello, Alice.
He says hello. How cold we get really does depend on how strong the storm is. But either way, we have a high chance, a likelihood that we're going to break some of these records as we progress through this upcoming weekend. Edwin, thank you. Yeah, a lot got hit hard. They really did, Edwin. Yeah, it's really sad. The storm that went through this past weekend is going to be one that many will never forget. It was such a large storm, and it just brought so much damage to many communities across the South, from the devastating ice. It was not great. That's for sure. And I'm sure people are still potentially, that got the snow may still be out of school. So, well, speaking of snow, let's talk a little bit about that, shall we? Again, we talked about this yesterday. It's not impossible that we could see flurries, some snow showers across the Sunshine State, the Florida-Georgia state line, but everything has to come together so perfectly for us to see that, depending on how this system forms, when it forms, and the timing of all of that. So we'll have the cold air, definitely cold enough for it to snow, but The question is, will it? But I do think that there is going to be a solid stripe of accumulating snow, especially as you head up toward the Outer Banks. And, there's the potential for snowfall amounts to potentially get up close to half a foot, possibly. But it all depends on how far that system is away from the coast. If it's closer to the coast, that heavier snow is forced inland. But if it's farther offshore, then we're not seeing much. And that's going to be the thing we're trying to fine tune over the next few days. And, if you're watching from afar, your local meteorologist will as well. So make sure you're getting, that's another PSA, make sure you're getting your weather information, your forecast from a trusted source, whether that be us on the storm team or your trusted local meteorologist that you love to watch as well. But trusted source nonetheless, because I'm sure you've seen a lot of things thrown around online, just like we saw this past week and weekend as this last winter storm impacted the U.S. Michaela, where are you watching from? You said you got 12 inches of snow. I'm curious. And Michaela, yeah, it's not looking like there's not a likelihood in that. It's not impossible, but right now I don't think, at least right now the way things are looking, probably won't see snow around Orlando. But the chances are there the farther north you get. And you can see, even in Georgia, again, this is for 6 inches or more. I'll have to dig into that a little more. But at least for that, I think that the data shows the greater likelihood of seeing heavier amounts of accumulating snow is going to be across coastal North Carolina and even coastal Virginia up toward places like Virginia Beach. So we'll continue to watch that. Now, I want to show you the cold air and how much colder will be compared to average. So this is today, but as you progress through time, look at all the purples and pinks. See that big dip in the jet stream? Then there is the system that we're watching for the weekend. You can see that almost kink there across the upper Midwest. That's that upper level low that's beginning to dive our way and what's going to help unleash the cold as we head through this upcoming weekend. Oh, you're watching from Oklahoma, Michaela. Wow. Love that. Where's your family in Florida? Are they in Orlando? That's so cool. We're in Oklahoma. I've been to OKC and been to Tulsa. That's about as much as I can say. I was in Wichita, so I wasn't too far away from Oklahoma. We had some counties in Oklahoma that we overlapped with. But you can see that the pinks, purples, that's air that is around 30 degrees colder than normal for this time of the year. So just brutally cold. Hey, Sarah. Dan, yeah, maybe North Florida. That's what we're going to be watching. That's the possibility that we're going to continue to keep a close eye on. Now, feels like temps, I'd say for us, as we head out the door Sunday and Monday, could easily be in the teens and single digits. But I want to look at the nation as a whole here because you can see how brutal it's going to feel. This is, even as we head through the next couple of days, you can see the moderation in temperatures across the south. But look at wind chills in Chicago and New York, minus 10, minus 15, almost minus 20 as we head into our Thursday morning. And then here comes that cold blast. You can see Birmingham, Alabama, minus 1, minus 2 wind chills in the wee hours of our Saturday morning. Paducah, minus 11. Sioux City, Iowa, Bismarck, around minus 10, minus 5 to minus 10. And then you can see there is Sunday. Look at that. Wind chills overnight, Saturday and a Sunday morning in the teens in Orlando. And then well below zero across places like Central Virginia, New York. It's just going to be a frigid stretch as we head into the first couple of days of February. Oh, Michaela, I love that. I love that you're from Oklahoma City. I love OKC. I went to one of my coworkers' weddings there, believe it or not. OKC is really fun. I love OKC and Tulsa. They're both super fun cities. Okay, so some of you may be wondering, um, is this cold stretch going to hold? How long are we going to be in the freezer? Are we going to get some relief anytime soon? Well, it's looking like at least as we head through early February, we're going to stay colder than normal. If you are watching us on Fox Local, another quick break is coming at you here in just about 10 seconds. So if you are watching on Fox Local and you want to join us on Facebook or YouTube, have any weather questions, comments, questions, concerns, please throw them in. Love to answer them. Another stat that we pulled. This is the longest stretch of days at or below 65 degrees, and it's in that 12-day stretch between January 2nd and January 13th of 2010. And this is the last time we had this cold of an air mass for us. Now, highs over the next 7 days, they will likely be at or mainly below 65 degrees in Central Florida. So, and this is for the Orlando area, but Friday's kind of that only question mark. We could be just a degree or two above it, warming up a little bit ahead of the cold front. So that's what's driving that potential there. But either way, it's looking like a well below normal stretch. This is, excuse me, that yawn came out of nowhere. I apologize. Snuck up on me. I might need to go get some coffee. I'll probably make it a hot coffee because it's so cold, not an iced coffee. That should have been the question of the day. Well, I'll ask it right now. I usually make that throw up our question of the day first, and I didn't do that today. But speaking of coffee, are you whatever the temperature is, are you an iced coffee person or will you go get hot coffee? Because usually, excuse me, I'm so sorry. As I wake up in the morning, I'm usually always a hot coffee person, but there are some days where I'll just go get an iced coffee or cold brew or whatever. But when it is colder, I definitely enjoy probably getting the hot beverages versus the versus the cold ones. Longsword 92, thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. Nick 7828, you had iced coffee. Okay, I mean, I get it because there have been some cold days where I'm like, you know what, I really want ice cream, and I'll go get ice cream. So I cannot judge. That is for dang sure. Dan, yes, the 407. Marlise is getting ready. I can hear Marlise. She is on set. The 407 in just 6 minutes. So be sure to tune in. I can't tease ahead because I'm not actually sure what's coming up on the 407 myself, but it's always fun. I can always say that much. Dan, Discovery Cove is a blast. I have been there live for work, but I personally have actually not gone for fun, and I'm sure I'm going to change that this year. That's going to be the goal, because I sadly did not make it last year. Ooh, Alice, love that. Hot chocolate with whipped cream. That sounds so good. Judith, thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you. Dan, I'm with you. Hot coffee. All right, so we have about 5 minutes left of the show. So if you do want to weigh in or have any questions, I'll try to answer those. But I wanted to show you the temperature outlook here. Again, this is from the Climate Prediction Center, and they put this all together. But this just goes to show you February 2nd through February 6th that there is a likelihood of temperature staying below normal. Now, as you look further down the pike, this is February 4th to February 10th. As we head through our second week of the month, still, you can see there's no red on the map, which means the likelihood of above normal temperatures. But it still looks like we'll have a good chance of staying below normal overall. So sorry if you're not a fan of the chill, but it's definitely looking like we're going to have the cold sticking around for the long haul. Not quite this cold, what we're expecting this weekend, but cold nonetheless. Here's the 7-day, you can see temperatures do moderate just enough ahead of the cold front, ahead of that system that we're monitoring. But look at the temperature tumble from Friday to Sunday. We're just slashing 10 degrees each day. 62 on Thursday, still a storm team alert because of the cold around in the morning. But Saturday, temperatures are going to be falling throughout the day, and they just continue to drop, dropping 30 degrees from our high on Saturday to Saturday night. So that's when you really have to think about your pipes, your pets, people, your friends, your neighbors, but especially your pets. The ground is going to be cold, so don't leave them out. Don't maybe walk them for a prolonged period of time early in the day because that can hurt them. You think of us walking around in bare feet when it's that cold. It wouldn't feel that good, would it? So think about them as well. PSA for all of our pet lovers out there, including myself. Gizmo has a winter jacket, so he'll be bundled up as we're walking on Sunday and Monday. But look at the nice moderation. So it's really Saturday, Sunday, into Monday that we're going to be the coldest. But even on Monday, temperatures are going to struggle. So high Sunday and Monday, the coldest of the next 7 days for sure. Dan, no, we do not come on Saturday and Sunday at 3:30. We come on, myself and Hannah are on at 10:30 in the morning. That's after the wrap. On just after GDO on Saturday and Sunday mornings. So yes, that's when you can watch us. Sandra, how are you? What's up in Venice? I can imagine it's cold for sure. Yeah, I feel like it's cold everywhere. Nick, you're saying your socks weren't enough walking in the house. The floors are cold. That's the one thing I have to say. I know tile is a very Florida thing, but I came from Pennsylvania, for those of you that don't know that, and we had a fireplace. I'd have the fireplace on in this kind of cold, and we had. I know some houses down here have you can get the vinyl planking. But I feel like tile was so cold. I had bare feet on this morning, didn't have my socks on this morning. I had bare feet as I was running through the house before I had to run out to an appointment. And yeah, floors were pretty dang cold. I was like, oh, I need my slippers on. I feel ya. Dan, yes, we are on Facebook, YouTube, and Fox Local when we do After the Wrap. And just like we're doing now, we're actually on Fox Local as well. So if you don't have the Fox Local app, it would be a good app to download because you can watch us on Fox 35 Weather Plus. You can watch all of our newscasts, stream those live, get weather updates, get news updates. It's a great app, and also you can download the Fox 35 Storm Team app as well. Well, we're just about 30 seconds away from kicking off the 407, so hopefully you have a great rest of the day. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'll continue to talk about this cold snap, this brutal cold throughout the week. Continue to give you more updates, but make sure you join Noah this evening at 5, 6. I'll be on at 8, and he'll be back at 10 and 11. So stay warm, keep the winter weather gear handy, and we will see you same time, same place, 3:30 for Fox 35 Weather Plus tomorrow.